Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another Canadian Starships live stream on a Saturday night. We are starting a couple hours early tonight because my family's not here. I don't have to get the kids to bed or anything like that. So I thought, why not start just a little bit early and probably go to the regular time. So thank you, everyone, for joining. It might be a slow start to the stream because most people aren't expecting me to be streaming at this time. But I do believe that we have Ken in the background here to help us out tonight. How are you doing tonight, Ken?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. It's not too hot here. But it's still a little bit more uncomfortable than I would like. We're sitting at a warm 26.8 degrees here with 47% humidity. The humidity's not too bad, so that's not too bad. How is it where you are?
We're at 28 degrees right now,
Ooh.
and the humidity though is only 48%.
No, that's not too bad then. All right, so some of you might be joining us on YouTube. Some of you might be joining us on Twitch. Wherever you are joining us tonight, thank you for being here. We are moving over to decal work tonight. And I moved the camera so that you can get this kind of a view of the saucer. Because we're going to be focusing in on the saucer section tonight, getting the decals for the not all 450 escape pods, but the ones on the top saucer started tonight. I don't think that we'll get through the entirety of the top saucer. If we do, then we will move on to refining. Let me just grab one here. Then we will move on to refining these things, the Buzzard caps. We have to either take a little bit of material out around the inside here, or transversely, take a little bit of material off of the front of the intercoolers, because I almost forgot, these don't quite fit properly, so you'll have to make some adjustments for them to fit. So we have, and by we, I mean I did, early this morning, I'm
just going to step away for a moment here, Andrew.
All right, you might be able to tell. There's some patchy areas on the saucer there. I have only gloss coated, as of this point, the areas that we need to put the decals on for the escape pod hatches. So, because I'm not quite ready to gloss coat the rest of the model yet. So let's move on over to the chat and see who's here. We've got Garrick here, who's the first one saying hello. And we've got Garrick also here saying hello as well. And then we've got Wolf60. Hello, every morning, chat. I'm new, and I'm a huge Star Trek fan and Star Wars fan as well. Well, welcome to the live stream. Nice to have you here. We were working on the 650 scale Enterprise D project, just the teeny tiny Enterprise D sitting there behind me. So let's see. Paul is here, says greetings. Well, welcome. And Keith is here. How's it going, Keith? And we've got Ben's Builds here saying hello. Welcome to the early live stream. And in case you missed it right off the top, we will be going to the normal time tonight. So instead of a 2-hour live stream, we've got a 4-hour live stream ready to go. And as I said, we're going to be putting detail decals down onto the, onto the surface of the saucer on all of those painted escape pods. I have already gloss coated just the escape pods. I'm not quite ready to gloss coat everything else yet, but that is what we are going to start working on tonight. And we've got Ken's model shop here saying, hey, Andrew, good evening. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining us. And so far, we've got 13 people here for a 2-hour early live stream. That is pretty awesome. Ken just had to step away to grab some food that was getting ready because he didn't see my message that I was starting early to a little bit later. So he will be along here in a few moments. I'm just realizing that I did not get my above camera set up, my overhead camera set up. So
I'm back. Can't hear you though.
I got muted. How long was I talking with being muted?
I just said I'm right back, or I said I'm back, and then you cut out.
That is weird. That is very weird. But I'm back now?
Yes.
Am I back on? No, but I'm not on the right.
Not on camera though.
There we go. This probably sounds better. Does
Yes.
it sound better?
Yeah, that's the proper mic.
So the microphone dropped out again. I do not.
And it sounds like you stopped talking again.
Yeah, seems like it might be the cable.
Oh, okay.
Let me just get my overhead camera ready to go. Of all the things I forgot to do ahead of time, I forgot to set up the overhead camera. That's why I have a beer. Please bear with me on the screen.
So did you say hello to Wolf 6045?
I did.
That's good to see someone new in chat. Paul Tackett's here, Keith is here, Ben's Builds, and Ken's Model Shop is here. Welcome, everyone. And you're still really quiet.
So I've just replaced the cable connecting my microphone to the computer, and hopefully that has fixed the situation.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yes.
So it's frustrating when you're trying to talk and you're muted. So
yeah. At least I'm here to help.
All right. So I've got this sheet of decals here, and I don't know how well they'll show up on camera here, but they are all individually frosted cakes. They're all individually numbered escape pods, and they're just the line details and the numbers and stuff like that.
Your video was a little twitchy there on the overhead.
I see that, and that camera has just dropped out. How fun!
That's never a good thing.
So strange. I need to get a proper overhead camera, I think, instead of this old thing.
Just an old iPhone.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. So all individually numbered. So let's get to it, shall we? Oh, what am I hearing?
That was me. I was just checking to see how many people are watching. Looks like 17 people.
All right.
So if you're in the chat, feel free to say hello. Let us know who you are.
I went over to my back workbench to grab my ruler, not realizing that the X-Acto knife I needed was also back there.
Well, you're getting your steps in. That's all that matters.
Apparently. So we are going to start with number 1. We're going to start at the very beginning.
Well, that sounds like a good place to start.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to trim. I'm going to cut this line And they're packed really tight in here because there's a lot of them, but you don't need any extra carrier film. So these sheets are just packed full of jam.
Well, that's good.
And I'm going to go quickly check the other model. So I think even numbers are on the port side. Yes. Even numbers are on the port side. So odd numbers are on the starboard side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the workbench. And I'm going to grab a cleaner set of scissors. Oh, all these scissors need a little bit of a clean. You get some alcohol and get them cleaned up. I had a problem before the stream with my glasses. I had some sort of adhesive on the lenses. No idea where that came from.
Like an
wouldn't come
epoxy
off.
or something?
Pardon?
Like an epoxy or like a super glue or
No, like almost like kind of adhesive you'd get on like a sticker or tape or something.
Oh.
No idea how it would have gotten there. And it was a pain.
Must have set it down in something maybe.
I have no idea, but it was a pain to get it off the lens. Thing is I didn't notice it until I started to wash my glasses. So we are starting with this one right here. These three will be 1, 3, and 5. These three will be 2, 4, and 6. So we are going keeping all the odd numbers on the starboard side, even numbers on the port side, and we're working front to back, top to bottom. So that's how we are locating our escape pods. And what we're going to do is cut them out and kind of lay them close to where they are going to be. I need a little container of some sort to collect. What do I have available? One moment. Let me grab a little container for the garbage, because we are going to do a little bit of garbage tonight.
Do you have some sort of something like you use to keep your water warm for decaling?
I don't have anything to keep my water warm. I'm probably going to have to replace it a couple times.
Oh, okay. And what's the beverage tonight you're drinking?
Oh, I am tonight I am drinking the finest organic suspension ever devised.
Oh, here we go. A little coffee. So if you're watching along and you want to tell us what you're working on the bench, let us know.
I thought I had a set of these escape pod decals printed, ready to go. Think I could find them? No.
Of course not.
Had to print a brand new set. But that's the advantage of making your own. Can't find them? Print more.
Print more, yeah. And that way, if someone needs, you can always send them some decals for their escape pods if you find the other sheet. Oh, Ben's Build says he's doing some non-modeling, making CAD work tonight.
Okay.
Well, glad you can join us. And Ben Spratling is here. He says, "Sup, y'all? Welcome, Ben number 2.
Good evening. First escape pod decal is on the model.
Yes, the first one down.
Hooray.
The longest journey begins with a single step, or in this case, a single life pod.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long road getting from there to here.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Todd's here. He says, "Hello and good evening, all." Welcome,
how's it going, Todd?
So, how many more days do you have, Andrew, of being home alone?
The family comes home tomorrow.
Okay. Ben Spratling says, "I'm deriving dimensions for a diorama from screenshots tonight."
For which diorama?
Let us know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Now, the trick to these escape pods is simply keeping them in order and just making sure that the right ones are going down in the right spot.
Well, they seem like it's a good decal paper you have that it's not taking too long to soak, which is good.
Nope. It is not.
Some of those, you get some of those, especially the older decals, they've been sitting around in a box for a while. Sometimes you can end up needing to soak them for quite a bit.
Yeah, well, it's not old. It's not very old. Like the decal paper is not very old.
Yeah.
These ones are freshly printed today. And the transfer film on these don't seem to be overly fragile, which is helpful.
That is good.
Because you can get some pretty delicate decals. And there's a time and place for that. These seem to be fairly robust.
Well, that's good. Ben Spratling says, "The drawing room at 221B Baker Street from Ship in a Bottle." He says, "Low probability I'll make it, but it's nice to dream about. Victorian design just has too many details for me. Maybe in a few years." Well, that would be cool to see. But yeah, if you think about the drawing room in 221B Baker Street, Holmes has just so much stuff that, in his books you read that's just laying around scattered everywhere. Is that the final one for that row?
Well, I do every second one.
Oh, okay.
And then I go back and I fill in the middle ones.
Just so you're less likely to bump the new one?
Yeah, or like bump the ones that are already laid down.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come back to those ones.
Okay.
I'm just going to move them up here for now, just so that the ones that are laid down get a chance to dry a little bit.
Right. Where did you go from here with your numbers?
Sorry, what was that?
So where do you go from here with your numbers now?
Um,
Right down the center, you can see just above
here.
the phaser line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I may have a question for you though on some lighting.
Okay.
I was watching a video today of someone building the 1350 Katinga using the lighting kit. I also have the same model with the lighting kit. And the lighting kit doesn't look bad. The only thing I don't like is the fact that the photon torpedo launcher is permanently on. Would there be a way, do you think, to bypass that and rerun like a wire to a switch down in a stand or something?
I mean, you could always do that.
And that should just be able to just be put just a long wire. Should just do it, right?
It should.
Okay.
I mean, you're not going to be able to automatically control. Like you'd have to
Hold it down for the duration.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
What lighting kit is it?
It's just the one that you can get for the kit by round 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have 3 of those models, and I think I have 3 of the lighting kits.
Yeah.
That I got when they first came out.
Seem to think that their lighting stuff is fairly basic.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, it lights up everything. It doesn't look bad. It's just that the photon torpedo launcher tube is always lit, as well as like front and rear.
So this is when the model starts to come alive, when there's some like graphics. The graphics start to go down.
Yes, very true. I thought much the same when you were doing the userful.
So this is where I have to really keep track of the numbers. And I don't know if you can see the numbers well enough on camera to warn me if I'm putting the wrong ones down somewhere.
I cannot. I don't know if anybody else is zooming in or anything and watching. I'm just looking to see. I can kind of zoom in using this, but then I can't see the chat.
So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15. The other side, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I'm doing all right so far.
Bonus points for anybody who catches Andrew making an error.
Let's just say it did happen on the other one, and I had to fix it.
Was it in like an extremely obvious place, or like was it like a top-facing one or a bottom-facing one?
I don't remember, but I could not let it stand. Had to fix it.
Trent is here. He says, "Hi, Andrew and Ken. Welcome, Trent.
Good evening. Welcome to the live stream.
A little earlier than normal, but here we are."
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, the lighting kit for the Katinga is actually it's actually a battery operated one, and it's all contained in the hull because the top of it just lifts off.
Okay.
Just a little top little section there with the shuttle bay and whatnot. That all lifts straight up, and then you just turn on the little switch on the battery box.
Okay, well that's a choice.
Like I said, I have 3 of those kits and 3 of the lighting sets that I bought when it first came out. So I don't want them to go to waste.
Yeah.
And really, I don't need anything fancy for something like one of those.
This is the boring stage.
But it definitely makes it worthwhile seeing all that.
Well, what I mean is just cutting out these decals is the boring stage.
Right.
Okay. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23. Good so far.
Good. Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do is to read them off as you're going through every once in a while.
Yep. Of course, if these were being commercially produced, they would make like groups of them, so you're laying like just one group down at a time. But
Right. Yeah.
I'm not making them that way.
Aaron Van Dorn is here. He says, "Hello, everyone. Welcome, Aaron."
Greetings, welcome. Almost done cutting them out for this level. Get your predictions in now. How far do you think I'm going to get on these decals tonight?
Well, I think you'll definitely get the saucer done, the top anyway.
You think so?
Yeah, I think you can if you're doing like you said, going until the normal time. That would give you 4 hours.
Okay, let's see. Those are all cut out. So we know we've got, these ones are right. 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29. We're good on this side. So we're 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. All right.
Perfect. We have Steve Cupsey is here. He says, "Don't feel bad about missing something. I just found out that I missed putting on my fan blade on the car kit that I'm building. Can you get in there and get it back in there, Steve?"
You don't feel bad about missing something. You just go back in and fix it. At least that's what I do.
I realize it could be really hard to kind of get in there, depending what kind of shrouding is around that fan, or how tight the engine compartment is.
I've got to, excuse me, clearing my throat there. I've got to reopen the nacelles on the Enterprise E that I'm redoing the lighting on, because on one side I forgot to put in the light block wall. And I thought, well, maybe I can just build it up gradually using a tulip, but that's serving to be more problematic than hoped.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, the fiber for the nav light just bent a little bit too far, I think, and isn't transmitting the light the same way as it should be. So both get to be cracked open again, and then those slight adjustments taken care of, and then they'll be closed up again. Hopefully it takes that time.
Well, let's certainly hope so.
Those nacelles are a bit of a pain because of the way that they're designed, being
Right.
sides instead of top and bottom.
Steve says I had to cut the pin out and glue it in place. That's a good solution. And he says, "Oh, I had everything glued in there." Yeah, kind of figured. So, what kind of car kit was it?
So if anybody is tracking my progress on this, we are 1% done.
1% done. There you go.
If I understand the math correctly, because we've got six down, and there's 450 on the ship. So my quick head math tells me that is 1%.
Felix Herrera is here. He says, "Hello, everyone. Welcome,
Good
Felix."
evening.
Steve says the kit was a 1979 Pontiac Trans Am 1/25th scale. Nice. Are you going with the big Thunderbird on the hood? He says the Screaming Chicken will be on it. Right on.
Screaming Chicken, huh?
Yep. The Screaming Chicken, the Thunderbird. Or whatever the bird is that's usually on there, depicted on them.
Can't breathe too hard, or the decals I've got laid out will go flying.
I was just thinking that they're going to blow away. Careful not to drag your hand either. That'll do the same thing.
Yeah, it's all detail work. Get to see my green shoes tonight.
There we go.
My green shoes and my blue socks. They don't quite match, but that's fine.
Keith says, I guess in regards to decals blowing away, he says, "I hope you have the garage door shut."
Yeah, I do. It's a little bit above the temperature I would have the garage door open at.
I'm trying to say you don't want your neighbor coming over and interrupting the stream.
Well, now she knows that I'm here, but I like working with the garage door open, but only when the temperature is right.
Ooh, Aaron says, "I'm unboxing a 1/700 scale 3D print of the Enterprise D."
That's cool.
Nice.
So just a little bit smaller than this one.
Now, did you print it yourself or did you have someone print it for you?
If he's unboxing it, my guess is that he had somebody print it for him. Just
Good
my
point.
guess.
Good point. Wonder which company that would be. Ben says sweet. Or no, well, sweet. Michael Fontana is here. He says, hello, Andrew and Ken. Welcome, Michael.
Good evening. 700 scale, I'm going to guess it's the GAM body.
GAM body, okay. And again, for those of you joining us, feel free to let us know if you're working on something on the bench.
It's always nice knowing what people are working on.
That's true. Very true. So, have you been doing quite a bit of work on the ease?
Well, I got one opened up, and I started redoing the lighting in the nacelles, because that was going to determine whether I could actually do that or not. Is how well I could redo the lighting and rehook stuff up in the nacelles, because it's quite tight quarters in there.
Right.
And just the lengths of wires and stuff like that determines whether or not I can update stuff. So, but it was successful, so I figure if I can, I will.
Oh, for sure. Is that something that you'll be putting little videos out on at all, or?
We'll have to see. I probably won't do videos of the refresh of the lighting.
Okay.
But I did have some on, like, when I was doing the this week on the bench. A lot of that was these 1400Es. Well, I think I was doing that while I was waiting for these model kits to arrive. Feels like a lifetime ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Aaron says, in regards to his 1/700 scale print of the 3D Enterprise D, he says, I got it from Classic Collectible Props. They're in Texas.
Oh, is it their own files? Like their own 3D artwork?
Michael Fontana says, working on nothing right now. I have to go to the hobby store or Amazon for a new model. Any idea on what you're thinking, Michael, for your next build?
One thing I am doing a little bit differently in the application of the decals this time versus the first time is that I am hitting them with the microsol shortly after application. I had some air bubbles showing up on the other ones that I had to deal with. So I want to avoid that issue this time around. There weren't too many, but if I can avoid it in the process.
Can I get that silvering effect otherwise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I can avoid that right from the get-go, I will. It just adds time, right?
Well, yeah, that's just it. Would that be something though? Otherwise, you would end up, if you had silvering, would you end up pulling some of the decals for that and putting new ones on?
Well, the microsol is pretty good at dealing with it. You just puncture, because again, these decals, it's mostly clear, right? So I can puncture an air hole, a bubble, and then I can hit it with the microsol, and that'll generally take care of it, because it's not generally on areas that are printed, so I'm not worried about misalignment of the lines or anything like that. So I can get away with that on these decals. But if I can avoid it, I want to avoid it. And there wasn't too much I had to deal with, but
Michael says he's going to see what's on sale, maybe a gunplug model. And Aaron says possibly. I'm not for sure. I got a 1350 scale, or I guess 1350 scale of the Enterprise B from the same company. Oh, okay.
So how is the print? Is it good? Good quality? Inquiring minds want to know. Also, if anybody knows of anybody who does really good 3D design, please send me a message or let me know, because looking for somebody who can do some work.
Well, there are a lot of 3D ships out there that would be nice to get a hold of, like to print if I had a 3D printer.
I'm gonna have to pull the trigger and invest in a 3D printer.
Yeah. I was looking at some of the old UGA models kits they used to make, but now they're out of business.
Yeah.
But they had some nice little ships. Did you ever pick up any of the UGA model kits?
I did not. I'm familiar with them, but I've never picked up any of them. And just for your information there, Ken, we'll probably run an ad on the hour.
All right, that sounds good.
Just run 3 of them during the 4-hour stream.
All right, yeah, we're 45 minutes in now.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too disruptive.
No, that should be perfect.
For anybody that's new to the stream, YouTube has a nasty habit of overdoing ads on live streams. So I don't let YouTube run ads on its own, and I just manually trigger them just a couple times during a live stream. And then we don't do anything important while that's happening, so you don't miss out on anything. Because the worst is when somebody's like, and the most important thing to remember is, and then an ad hits.
Yes, that I think that's happened to most of us.
Yeah, I think Murphy is the one who seems to decide when YouTube ads run.
Michael Fontana says, I'm in the mood to build a Klingon ship or even a Romulan ship.
Ooh.
Interesting. Not a lot of Romulan ship kits out there. There's the Deerdix, and then there's the original TOS Bird of Prey.
I'd really like one of those newer style Romulan warbirds from Nemesis.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think those look really nice.
Again,
I'd be a little bit nervous doing the paint job on them, but it would be a growing opportunity to do one of those.
Yes.
Is that the Valdor warbird?
I couldn't say what the name is. But yeah, certainly the Romulans have not really got a lot of love in the model kit range. I guess technically there's also the D7 has the decals for the Romulan version as well.
I think that was just a matter of, at the time, they thought nobody would notice that they were using the same model.
Michael Fontana says yes. I think he means you got the name correct for the type of ship.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool looking ship, and I'd love to build one sometime.
Aaron's talking about his Enterprise D. Says pretty good quality actually. The Enterprise D is really good. I can't see any imperfections. He said in it the Enterprise B was good quality as well.
That's good to hear.
Ben Spratling says, "Ooh, I do not like the Nemesis warbirds. TNG warbirds for me all the way." And Ben's Builds says, "Yeah, it's the Valdor. I know that Starcrafts makes one, and yes, he is still in business. Just have to email him to order." Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because he's not on Federation Models anymore. Actually, I don't think Federation Models is up and running right now.
Oh, it's been a while since I've been to that website.
Could really do with a good sized print of the Dideridex. The kit that's available commercially is fairly small.
It is. Which for something, when you look at it on screen, the amount of windows on it makes it really hard to light.
Yeah, not very many people do a stellar job on getting the scale of those windows correct.
Yes.
It's really hard to get the scale right.
Somebody did one not too long ago. I'm trying to remember who it was. Do you recall?
I think Wayne did one.
At Motion Picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's his build I was looking at. Was it like a year ago or whatever it was?
Yeah, but Wayne knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But the two issues people have with that kit are getting windows the right size, because people typically get them too big, and then getting them aligned properly is also the big challenge people have with that kit.
Yeah. Ben Spratling says it would be fun to scratch build a Klingon bird of prey, but of course it's me, so if I did it, I'd want to build in cutaways of the rooms we saw in various shows.
Yeah. I thought it would have been cool. Now, it would probably have to be a bigger kit than this. I mean, this is a fairly decent sized kit, but I thought it would be cool to have some escape pods that you could remove, so they'd be held in magnetically, and you could just use a little magnetic tool to pop it out and show the escape pod. But again, I think you'd have to do it on a slightly larger size.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see here. Russ is here. He says, "Hey all, happy Saturday."
Good evening, Russ.
Paul Tackett says Federation modelers will try to be at Wonderfest in 27. Okay.
They might have a hard time getting a table because it was sold out right away after the show. As in, like, for tables for next year.
Yeah, you were saying that.
It's one of the reasons why if Andy can't go, I'm going to run his table, because we can't afford for him to lose his table for a year, because then getting it the next year is just going to be so ridiculously difficult.
Yeah.
Winterfest really needs to look at a bigger venue.
Ricardo is here. He says, hello, Andrew, Ken, and everyone on chat.
Hey, Ricardo. What are you working on tonight?
Yeah, let us know. And it looks like we have a Twitch AI comment. That standard AI viewer stream boo.
I can actually see from Restream how many viewers are from YouTube, how many viewers are from Twitch. And it's showing 0 viewers on Twitch, so. I've also had a fair bit of coffee today, so while we run the advertisement break, I will probably take a quick bio break as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. 22 people on YouTube watching. It's nice to see.
More than an hour earlier than supposed to be streaming, so that's pretty good. Because
that is very good.
There wasn't much notice for people for them to know that I was going to be streaming early. So,
although when I saw the message on Discord, it didn't surprise me though.
Sorry, what was that?
When I saw your message on Discord, though, I wasn't surprised. I thought you were going to go early.
Yeah.
I figured you'd want to make the most of it.
Well, I was a little worried earlier today that I wouldn't have any work to do on live stream, because I was afraid of the gloss not cooperating or not being cured enough ahead of the live stream to do this. But I've been monitoring it all day, so. Because we are literally the only work I've got left to do. There's a couple of touch-up spots I'm working on back here. Just some, I guess you can't see, but back this way on the secondary hall,
right?
Just some like small like paint pits and stuff like that are just being touched up.
Okay.
Some areas where the masks didn't come off quite clean enough, so touching up around there, those type of things.
Well, you could point to the general area we'd probably see on the little circle camera view that we have.
Oh, well, just overall.
Oh, okay.
Like nothing specific to show, but.
Ricardo says, tonight I'll try to work on the small little ship. I need to start putting the LEDs on it. And what is the small little ship you're working on, Ricardo? Are you aware of what his small little ship is, Andrew?
I feel like I should, but I don't think I do. It's hard keeping track of everybody's projects. And I don't really keep up on Discord.
It can be hard, that's for sure. Well, let me see.
Because I think Ricardo's going to be doing some videos or live streaming or something with his YouTube channel here soon. I could be wrong.
I am looking to see if I see anything in the sci-fi section with Ricardo. I'm not seeing anything in the past day or so. I see Garrick with one of his many unfinished projects, the GAM body, all good things, future Enterprise D in 1/1000 scale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ricardo says it's a little space fighter from the Yamato anime. It's the same one I gave to Jody. And yes, Andrew, I'm gonna put a video soon on my channel about that ship.
Okay. Okay, I know exactly which one he's talking about.
Okay. I see Mikey's got a lot of stuff posted. And Garrick's finally got his Grail kit, the SDF-1 Macross. Nice. Lots of action on there. Good to see. We have someone new commenting, Trowbridge, and that's from Twitch. He says, beautiful.
Thank you.
I believe he was here on Wednesday as well, if I recall.
Yeah, slightly different username on YouTube, I think.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining again.
He says, yeah, I'm a return.
Yay! We like return viewers.
Well, it's pretty much at the hour now. If you wanted to take a...
I was just thinking, I just laid that one decal down. And so I think we're going to run a commercial break. I'm going to probably throw that video of the lighting up. And I'm going to take a quick bio break while we are doing that. So I just have to pull up the live stream dashboard.
Michael Fontana is asking, do you have a name for the starship?
This one is the, it might be a little bit weird, but it's the NCC 1701D USS Enterprise.
Oh, I've never heard that name.
Yeah, no, this one's just the straight ordinary Enterprise D. All right, we're going to run a commercial break. I'm going to throw up some video footage, and we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back. looks like it had a chance to loop at least one time while I was away.
It did. It was actually nice for a change. That actually had the sound with it.
Yeah, I thought of making sure the sound was on that last minute. So
yeah. Jody's here. He says, "Good early evening, Andrew."
How's it going, Jody? Jody's going to be streaming after this live stream. And I do have it set up to automatically send people over your way, Jody.
Well, that's good to hear.
We'll just have to get our timings down so that you're starting. You're starting just after I shut down the stream, since it doesn't seem to like us overlapping at all.
Unless you pay extra.
Yeah. unless we pay extra over and above the already high pricing.
Well, good evening to you, Jody.
Just going to warm up my finest organic suspension ever devised. There we go.
So, Jody, let me know what you're going to be working on tonight.
My guess is the triadic.
That's what I'm assuming. But you know what they say about assumptions?
Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong.
Exactly.
I'm assuming that's what you meant.
And Ricardo's saying hi to Jody.
I wonder if Jody's figured out what names he's using out of the
decal set,
out of the name Enterprise and Reliant.
Re-Enterprise.
Okay. The Enterprise. Get it? Try. Enterprise. Yeah, I know. Probably not very good.
A few other people saying hello back and forth.
Hello back and forth, whoever you are.
I think he has a bear with him.
Yeah. I've got a bear with me sometimes.
Michael Fontana says, I got it. Ken's Model Shop says, hey, Andrew, did you see the 1/18th scale recreation of the filming set of the USS Enterprise bridge from Star Trek, the original series from Factory Entertainment?
I've seen some stuff online. I haven't really looked into it very much.
Yeah,
the bridge recreations is not really something I'm overly interested in.
Yeah, they showed it on Tested. I think it was Howard that put a link in Discord for it.
I saw a video of them unveiling it at Comic-Con, like taking the taking a blanket off of it or something.
I did see a thumbnail for one of those videos that I didn't click on as well. It does look fantastic. I enjoyed seeing the tested video on it, and how you can remove some of the walls, and they just like plug and play. You just set it in place, and it connects, through like electronic contacts.
Yeah. See, I would find set recreations more interesting than a model of the bridge. Like where it's like a diorama of the actual stage and set. That would be more interesting to me.
Right.
But I know I'm probably an outlier. It's like I wasn't overly thrilled about getting the bridge model set when I was younger.
Ricardo says, that's amazing, Jody. Please DM me the link. I may need some of those for my Galileo. Trobid Bridge. So it says, wonder how much that'll go for. He says, it looks incredible. Yeah, that's going to be pretty pricey. And Todd says, he mentioned Malachi designed it. Same guy who did their Airwolf. Also, Ben Spratling says, speaking of set recreations, have you visited the Star Trek tour in the Ticonderoga? It's exquisite.
I have not.
Now, is that the TOS bridge, or is that like a Enterprise D bridge, or which one is that?
It's a set recreation of the Enterprise, the TOS Enterprise.
Okay. Is that the one William Shatner went and sat in?
Yeah.
And didn't want to give up his seat?
And what?
And didn't want to give up his seat?
Well, it was his chair, right?
That's right.
Why would he want to give up his chair?
Well, exactly.
There we go. We're making progress. Check to make sure I haven't made any mistakes laying down the numbers.
Yeah. So Ricardo, Jody says, Ricardo, check your DMs on Discord. Ben says, yeah, entire TOS filming set recreation. Nice. I think I've seen walkthroughs of it then. I believe that's the one where they have a whole bunch of people's signatures on the backs of the set. I'm trying to remember who did the walkthrough that I saw.
Now, I don't know if the set at Ticonderoga was ever used for any fan films or not.
Oh, yeah, Ben Spratling says, I got a photo of myself meeting Shatner there. An amazing experience. Yeah, no kidding. Ben says there's online videos of Michael and Denise Okuda doing walkthrough of theirs, so maybe them. Ricardo says Phil and Lou went to Ticonderoga and both uploaded videos of the tour.
Yeah.
Jody says, I sent it to you, Andrew. You just right-click the sound you want and save it.
Sorry, what?
Jody says, I sent it to you, Andrew. You just right-click the sound you want and save it. I don't know if he actually means Ricardo. He says, I'm adding a bunch to my folder. Ben says, yes, the Ticonderoga sets were originally built for fan films. Okay.
Does he know which ones were used? I don't. I know that the that Star Trek Continues had a really, really well-designed set, but I don't know if that's the one that ended up at TrekCon Daroga.
And Ricardo's thanking Jody for the links. Keith's asking for the links.
No, it looks like Jody sent me something.
Oh, there we go. Todd says, I thought the ones at Ticonderoga were the ones used on Star Trek Continues, since they spent so much time and money to get them right.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of what I was wondering, but I wasn't sure if that's the set that ended up there or not. Because the Star Trek Continues was, I think, the best of the fan-made sets for fan films. And then I know that their set was used for a couple other fan film productions. I kind of think Star Trek Continues was about the best of those TOS remakes.
Kenneth is here. Go ahead.
I was just going to say they finished their series just as Paramount CBS was clamping down on fan films, and we've got 30 people watching. 3 of those are on Twitch. That's amazing.
Nice.
Welcome, everybody.
Kenneth says, evening from Atlanta, Georgia. I just subscribed to my favorite YouTuber people who I'm inspired to be a master builder, like in who I'm looking up to as a role model.
Oh, thanks for joining us tonight.
Ben Spratling says, I think it's the other guys.
The Stargate episode?
And Todd says, I can't believe 2 separate groups would have built the TOS sets and not knowing about each other to share.
Well, you never know.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, it was a TV show.
Ben Spratling says, the Ticonderoga sets were from Star Trek Phase 2. The sets from Continues recently moved to some mall in Ohio.
Okay.
And Kenneth says, what are you working on, buddy?
If you're referring to me, I'm putting the detail decals down on top of the painted detail for the escape pods on the 1/650 scale Enterprise D, which is actually the Enterprise D. The other one is complete. So we're on the final stretch push to get this ship done. So that it can go off to Chilliwack, and then I can finish some other projects on the bench, and simultaneously, because I'll have to do it simultaneously, but I'm going to have to get the Enterprise B started, because I'd like to get the parts light blocked at least before we get into the winter months, so I can get that light blocking paint done all either outside or with the big garage doors open.
Right. Kenneth,
I don't think I'll get to the point where I'm priming the model before the colder months, but at least try to keep as much of that outside as possible.
Kenneth says that's awesome, and he's blown away by the amazing job you're doing.
Well, thank you. These escape pod decals are definitely worth it. Well, it's definitely worth it doing the dual process of paint and decal here. It's just time-consuming and tedious. This is the type of work that if I wasn't doing it on live stream, I would be throwing on some sort of YouTube video where, or a TV series, streaming series where I don't really have to be paying attention to watching it, but I'm more like listening to it than watching it.
I find I usually will do that with older movies I've seen before.
Yeah.
Although occasionally it does grab my attention and you lose about 15 minutes watching.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find the same thing?
Well, I try to avoid things where I'm going to actually want to look at the screen too much.
Yeah.
But I will also, like, I can throw something on the screen on the back bench. So if I'm working in that general direction, I can just glance up and look, or have it on my main screen at the computer. But all right, quick spot check. 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So far, so good.
Good.
No mistakes yet. And yes, I realize I said yet.
Kenneth says he's sitting there and he thinks that's a fantastic story. Now, Jody, did you manage to get that plastic that you were looking for to put in the warp missile? Ricardo says, "Don't jinx it, Andrew."
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben says,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely not really going to watch this video while I'm barely listening to it in the background while I write some code. 2 hours later, sitting motionless, zero work done.
Yeah, I can't have anything playing if I'm doing, like, if I'm having to write anything. I don't write code, but if I'm writing copy for something or...
Jody says he has not got that plastic yet. He's going to have to wait for a bit. Well, there's other parts of the ship you could work on, I guess.
And I don't think it's something that you can just, like, go down to Home Depot and get, right? So.
Oh, yeah.
Getting pretty close to finishing this ring.
That's good.
But these are the easy ones with not very many to do. The outer rings are the...
Yes.
And the bottom has even more.
I'm just trying to picture that now. Yeah, that'd be a lot. I see. I noticed a little while ago, but I noticed that you've got the impulse engines on the saucer section now.
I do. Those took some modifications. The lenses inside needed to be modified because they didn't fit into the housing. So I had to resize them. It was one of my to-do list items I was able to get done last night.
That's good.
I'll go through a ton of Q-tips in this process.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you go through a lot of when you're building scale models. Seems like when you get to a process where you start needing the Q-tips, you start needing a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, being in the water in the microsol and stuff, they only last for so long before they become too soggy to use.
That's right,
Okay.
yeah.
This side is done. Gonna move on to the two that are left on this side for this ring. And then we'll move down.
So that should be 26 and 30.
26 and 30, you're correct. Somebody's been keeping track.
Well, I'm sure someone else is keeping track as well. But I am watching. I got my eye on you.
So are 26 other people. So given that I've been streaming for almost an hour and a half out of a 4-hour stream, and I'm currently installing number 26, still think I'm going to be...
I no longer think that you'll finish the top. You'll definitely get the next ring done, obviously. But the two after that, I can't say.
Well, there's 2 rings left. 2 rings, and then there's an extra little layer on the back.
Paul Tackett is here. He says, "Hi, everyone. If I missed a greeting, I have Andrew's stream running in the background while I game. What game are you playing, Paul?" And Kenneth says, "I'm like Jody concentrating on my collar plaits on my Notre Dame Cathedral Lego set."
Okay. Bit of the time is just waiting for the decals in the water. I don't want to put more than one in at a time because then I lose track of the numbers. And then I forget about one, and then it's been sitting in the water, and it just separates from the backing, and it's just floating randomly in the water. And yeah, so I'm only putting one in at a time.
Oh, that definitely makes sense. Paul is playing King Shot. I don't know what that is. So what platform would that be on, Paul? As I interrupt your gaming by asking you questions.
All right. That ring is complete. Moving on. So we're back to the boring job of cutting out decals. Okay. And I have to keep these straight, and I'm placing them underneath this line, but this goes on this one right here. So this decal is for this. I'm working on this line that's right next to the phaser array here.
And what's the starting number for this row?
31, 32. Because
Perfect.
this was 29 and this was 30.
Okay. For all of us playing the home game.
Go.
And you still have to make your window there for the bridge dome.
I already did that.
Is it in place?
Yep.
Really? Oh, okay. I can't tell, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, did that last night too.
Nice.
AK was amazed at the solar res glass technique. I did solar res glass live on camera. And I figured out that I could just, if I was careful enough, I could just make the circle right away with the solar res glass.
Nice.
The size I wanted it. 37.
Okay, so Paul is telling me about King Shot. He says, think of a fantasy fleet command.
So things get a little wonky here because there's 5 escape pods in this group here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there are 4 escape pods here. The studio model was not symmetrical that way.
Interesting.
And so it got carried over to this model because it's the way it appeared on the 6-foot studio model. So I just have to really make sure I'm keeping track of what's going where.
Paul's game is a mobile game. That's interesting that the studio did that, like where it wasn't symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they just thought the audience wouldn't notice.
Yeah, somebody probably forgot to put a sticker on.
Does that happen on any of the other levels?
I don't remember. But I just, because I had to figure out all the placement and all that kind of stuff, right? So I just basically grabbed the photos of the studio model and just reproduced as best I could based on what I saw.
And those were the photos that mostly that Todd took?
Yep.
Those are some fantastic photos.
There were a couple of times where I had to reference the Christie's auction photos, just if there's a better angle of something. But Todd's pictures are better overall.
Yeah, before Next Generation, you don't see escape pods on really any of the original ships or the motion picture timeline.
Yeah. Well, the escape pods aren't noticeable or visible.
Right. Yeah.
Like there are cutaways that show a couple locations of escape pods on the refit, but for the most part, how those were intended to be are a mystery. They showed it's kind of cool how they showed escape pods on Enterprise. Now they didn't show them on the actual Enterprise, but they showed them for the Mirror Universe version. So here again, we've got a group of 5, and the corresponding one on this side only has 4.
So then it starts to even out then.
Yep.
Numerically. Well, that's good, I guess. Ben Spratling is asking, where would one find Todd's photos? I have the Christie's auction photos, and they are surprisingly lacking of the pieces of the model I most want to see. He said, especially the leading top edge of the saucer, just completely lacking. Todd said I would post the links to my pics, but I'm not sure I am a mod. And then he says, oh, I am. And then he posts the link.
There you go. So I didn't have to do anything. Todd took care of it.
That's right. Yes, you'll, phenomenal pictures and a lot of them. Every detail you could, I think that you could pretty much want.
Yeah, they came in very handy on the project here.
And Todd was our 100th message today with Restream Chat. He says, by the way, Andrew, the pictures in Dropbox are 1920 by 1080. That is not full res from my DSLR. If you need the really big ones.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now I'm good, but if we do another project coming up, I might want the larger format.
Ben says, downloading them all now.
Yeah, I was just checking out a folder I have on my computer here today. Oh, where was that? References. Let's see. So I was just checking out this folder of pictures here today.
Nice.
Why is this not? There we go.
Are those auction photos, or whose photos are those?
They're not auction photos, but they are of the studio model.
Nice.
So if you see, these are easy to find if you're just searching Oberth class studio model.
Okay.
I think a lot of people have used these particular reference photos.
Nice.
For their builds. So there's a lot of photos. Again, it's a parking lot outside. I don't know why people take reference photos in a parking lot outside. The same thing happened with the Enterprise E.
Yes, I recall talking.
Look at that
you
surface.
were talking about that. Yeah, you can see the imperfections on it.
Yeah,
like stuff caught in the paint. Oh, decal coming off on that.
Yeah,
docking pod or docking port.
Yeah. So where's my mouse? There we go.
Todd says the full res photos are like 7 8K by 4K pixels.
Yeah, probably what we would do is next year at Winterfest, just transfer them to like my 2 terabyte drive or something like that.
All right, we need to start paying for Todd to take vacations wherever these ships are, so he can go photograph them.
Well, he said he just like dropped everything and went when he heard that the Enterprise D studio model was on display. He dropped everything and got in the car and went.
Nice. Todd says, I guess in regards to them photographing outside in parking lots, he says, because high day sunlight temps can be calibrated typically to 5,000 K versus indoor lighting that has all sorts of color temperatures.
Yeah.
And then Todd said, I drove to Cali to see it in the Screeball Museum.
I don't know what a Screeball Museum is, but thank you. For getting those photos.
Yes. So you guys are going to start working on the first half of the of that next row, or are you going to cut them all out for the entire row?
I'm going to go just as far as here on
Right.
both sides to start, just so that I don't have too many loose
Decals
escape
just
pods
sitting
out.
there. Yeah. All right, Jody, see you a little later. Jody says time to go for now. I'll be back in a bit.
All right.
I'm assuming he's going to go pick someone up. Todd said, took about 300 pictures of it that day. The guards watched me almost as closely as when I crawled all over the BTTF DeLorean, Back to the Future. A car at the Peterson. Yep, Jody says, confirms he is going to go pick someone up.
Oh, in 20 minutes, I need to start my Saturday night live stream.
Oh, there you go. Did you have an alarm set?
Some dog is yapping outside.
I can't hear it. Then again, I also have really bad tinnitus, so I just have a ringing in my ears.
Too many times, too close to some ammo?
I was in the artillery for years, so a lot of big bangs, and then driving with lights and sirens going. The sirens are really loud when I was in the other job. So yeah, lots of hearing damage. I'm supposed to be looking at getting hearing aids with a masking device in it here, hopefully in August here. So hopefully a masker will help.
I just double checked that all the numbers were correct here. I'm going to show you the same thing on the other side. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2. Got it. They look good to me.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm laying these down a little bit differently too, so that there's less chance of me messing up the numbering on these. Because I think I laid them all out and then I just worked like from the back around. This time I'm working the center out, and I'm doing a couple here, then and back and forth.
And for those of you watching, some of you may not have seen other episodes where we discuss these. If you look at the studio model, the numbers are all just kind of everywhere, and
Well, there's only
love
like
and
6
repeat.
numbers that they've reproduced all over the ship.
Yeah. So you see like a whole bunch of escape pod number 173 or whatever.
So what I've done, because this is meant to be seen up close, I've done all individually numbered escape pods, and then the discussion was, would they be random or would they be in some sort of order? And the decision made on stream was that because the curve of the hull is different depending on where the escape pods are, not every escape pod fits in every spot. And so it would make sense that each escape pod would have its own home that it should generally go back to. And therefore, they would all be sequentially numbered in a logical way. And then we came up with the logical way that we would number them. Somebody, I can't remember who said so, but I was told that the real naval ships would have lifeboats numbered the same way that we're doing it on here. So that's where the logic comes from.
Right. Well, and we certainly looked at your escape pods 1 through 6. They're definitely a different curve to it than there would be the next 2 levels.
Yeah, but tolerances as far as it sitting down on the hull would be so tight that only certain ones would be able to fit in certain areas.
Right, yeah. Alan Kelly is here. Hey, Alan. He says
welcome.
They took reference photos of the Klingon Katinga outside. Todd says same 4 numbers used over and over on the Generations D.
Yeah.
And then Todd says Sternbeck disagrees, but your way makes more sense.
Well, he probably hasn't thought about the whole idea that they won't all just fit into anywhere. Keep in mind, we came up with this via the hive mind, not just my thoughts, or not just Ken's thoughts, or not just Todd's thoughts, or whatever, but it was the combination of everybody talking in the chat and stuff that brought us to that conclusion.
It's just more pleasing to the eye if you notice it. If you get in close and you look, you start seeing it and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Kenneth is still here. He says, I'm still watching. And he says, well, that's an awesome story. Well, glad to hear that you're still here, Kenneth. Yeah, I've seen like I think it was the Enterprise blueprint book or whatever. I think they showed a cutaway view of the life pods themselves.
That's in the technical manual.
The technical manual. Thank you. That's what it is. That's what I meant. The kind of purplish color book.
It's like a burgundy. I keep it close by.
Yeah. Oh, that's the one. Yeah.
And I know exactly where the page is.
Here you go. Yeah.
For no particular reason.
Not that you've needed to look for some reason.
No, not at all.
Todd says, well, the lifeboats under the hatch covers would all be the same. The covers themselves surely were quite different and had specific locations on the hull.
Yeah, but they were attached to the escape pods and could be jettisoned or used as a heat shield for atmospheric reentry. Or I should say atmospheric entry, because it's not re-entering, because it's never been in the atmosphere. Whereas Voyagers should definitely be sequentially numbered if they're numbered, because they're hatch covers that flip up and then the pod goes out.
That must be from one of the episodes.
Yep. Pretty sure it was Year of Hell. And they show the escape pods leaving the ship. Relatively few times that we actually got to see escape pods in action. We saw it in First Contact on the Enterprise E. And of course, those what you see on the surface is part of the actual escape pod there. We saw it in Voyager, and those were the hatch covers that just flipped up. And then we saw it in Enterprise, and actual panels of the hull blew away, and then the escape pods then left the ship.
Cool. Ben Spratling says, I love the Star Trek technical manual. My favorite book growing up. Since lost, but I bought a new one and got Sternbeck to sign it while I was at Wonderfest. Not going to lose this one.
Yeah.
Well, I would hope not.
Don't lose that. I still think, what are the chances that both Bens show up at the table at Wonderfest both at the same time?
Is that like Larry, Daryl, and Daryl?
Maybe. I'm gonna have to mask off the bridge window though, because I don't want to get the clear coat on it.
Right.
It's one of the reasons why I didn't just gloss coat the whole thing. But I didn't want to mask it off quite yet. I want it to sit for a while before I do that.
Ben's build says, let's go for 2 years in a row. Let's see how many years you can make it in an unbroken chain.
I ended up having to print this decal set for myself today because I thought I had a set ready to go for this and I couldn't find it. But then I had to print a second set and cut a set of the masks because somebody was wanting a copy.
Nice.
But I forgot exactly what I needed to cut for the like what file I needed to cut and how many copies of it for the masks. So I was talking with Blair, so I got him to check for me what I included in the set. Because I was getting it confused with the window masks. Because the window masks is 2 files and I include 2 copies of each. Because you often need backups and extras and stuff like that.
Right.
But the escape pod said there's just 1 file, and I include 2 copies of it so that you have more than enough of all the variations of the escape pod arrangements to do it, even if you mess up a few. I tried to compensate for potential errors. It's like on the decal sheets for the escape pods, I included unnumbered ones, and then a whole list of like, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in here, but there's a whole bunch of unnumbered ones.
Yep.
And then these things here are actually just the list of all the numbers 001 through 450, so that you can put a blank one down, and then you can put the number over top of it.
Just in case you ruined one.
Yep.
Or a few.
Yeah, because it's far more efficient than giving out an entirely second copy of all the decals.
Right.
And
or just printing a sheet with just two decals on it or something.
Yeah. So you just lay down the blank one and then lay the hatch cover, like the hatch number on it.
So did you watch the latest episode of Strange New Worlds?
I did.
And
Have
I
you
haven't
seen
yet.
it?
I have not. Is it good?
I thought it was decent. There is a reference in it that I think they really need to stop making the reference, but that's just me.
All right.
Nothing will ever come of it. A reference that Pelia makes, because given the current status of another sci-fi franchise, a crossover is not very likely.
Oh, all right. Are you willing to say which other franchise?
Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
Seems like they've been trying to set up a Doctor Who Star Trek crossover with some of the references that they've been making, but not going to happen.
Believe it's been done in the comics.
Essentially, they're trying to insinuate that Pelia, the chief engineer, played by Karen Kane, was a companion of the Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then one of the episodes last season, there was an Easter egg of the TARDIS in the background.
Interesting. Ricardo says, OMG, a crossover of that magnitude would be fantastic. I would agree. That would be mind-blowing.
So when we're going to have a commercial break here in about 5 minutes. And when we come back from the commercial break, I'll tell you what makes me enjoy watching Strange New Worlds and other newer Trek a lot better than I used to.
Do you think we'll see Pike's accident?
I don't know. I mean, we know that we're going to see the handover to Kirk. But I don't know if we'll see the accident. I mean, it would make sense for us to see it.
Right.
But I don't know if they'll do that or not.
Ben says Pelia once time traveled with a doctor in a phone box. She lives a long time. Fantastic hair. She must be River Song. Spoilers.
I mean, had they gotten what's her name, Kingston? Is it Alexis Kingston or Alex Kingston? Had they gotten Alex Kingston in, that could have been definitely a thing. Yeah, I enjoy the newer Star Trek more because of one rationalization I have made, which I will share once we get back from the next commercial break in about 4 minutes.
Michael Fontana says, I say we don't see it. I think it will break Star Trek lore.
Yeah, well, again, I'll share why I don't really think that's an issue. But I'm just waiting for... Yeah, half the time is spent waiting for the decals to do their thing. And during the commercial break, I'm also going to refresh this water because it's been 2 hours.
Yeah, it's probably not warm water anymore.
Nope. Still
Hasn't
works.
been for an hour or more.
But you can start to get an idea of just how time consuming this process is.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes, and it's definitely true when it comes to opening windows, sometimes there's just no no supplement for or no alternative to doing the grind, putting in the time, doing the finicky detail work.
Todd says, and the reason I think that Strange New Worlds is going to do it is commercial. And that's what I think.
Hey, that's exactly why we manually run the ads. Ian was getting a whole ton of ads on his live stream on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But he would have had to choose to run them automatically, because manual, I think, is the default unless you choose it to automatic. And if you do it automatic, YouTube's just going to go nuts on it, even if you choose to be conservative.
Yeah, I think you were having that issue early on.
Yeah, and it's exactly the reason why I've changed the way I do it, because it's not fun having ads run every 20 minutes. And it seems like YouTube will do it like almost every 20 minutes if you just let it do its own thing.
Yeah.
All right. So we are going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to grab a bio break in the process, and I'm going to refresh that water with some warmer water, and then we'll be right back, and I will tell you my theory. Okay. What am I looking at? Okay, I'm activating the commercial break. And again, we might as well give you some of this to watch. Oh, some of this to watch in the meantime. Be right back. We got some fresh water, and we're good to go. So, there we are. Hope they enjoyed those views of the that particular one was the userful, but you wouldn't know because it didn't have its name and registry on it there.
You think you'll film that again with the markings on it? Something along the same lines?
Oh yeah, I will. I'll definitely. Now it looks like it might be a while before my client's able to come and get it because he's coming from Belgium and he's got some other traveling he has to do. So I might have it here for a little while. So what I will definitely do is take both of these to work and put them in the studio with the green screen and get some footage of them both side by side.
That's going to be a cramped ride.
I will have to take them one at a time. Most certainly, one at a time. Okay. It also gives me a little bit of time to build the custom-made crates I'm going to need.
Right.
Because these can't go in no cardboard boxes, that's for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much packing you put in there with cardboard, it's not going to survive.
Yep. Yeah. Now I was hoping to have a 1400 scale Enterprise D done to bring to Wonderfest and do as a giveaway, but time did not allow for that. And looking at my whole schedule and what I need to get done before Wonderfest, I don't think time will allow for it this year either.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It would be something fun to do. Give away a model to a subscriber who's at the show.
And one that's not that big in comparison. So here we are on the second half of the stream here. Or if you're a big football fan, this is the third quarter.
Yeah, so I have a theory that, and I mean, it's not just my theory. I think that there's a lot of people that have talked about this over the time, but I think that Enterprise, the show Enterprise, and the events that happened during Enterprise were never supposed to happen at least the way that they did.
Which part are you thinking? Like the whole time travel part?
Well, not caused by the temporal agents and the temporal Cold War and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that was part of what was going on there. But I think that Picard and crew going back to Bozeman, Montana for first contact caused a chain reaction in the timeline, because Enterprise literally dealt with the Borg that were left over from that event. And
weren't they frozen or something originally?
They were, yeah. They found the ship. They were frozen. They didn't know what was going on, and so my hypothesis that deals with all of the issues that are developed by newer Star Trek, changing visual canon and all kinds of stuff, is that that's all a result of Picard and crew going back. Well, the Borg going back and Picard and crew going back, and history slightly changing because Starfleet did evaluate the Borg and the Borg technology and the crashed ship and the drones, and they clearly would have gleaned technological information from that. So it makes sense that potentially starships and stuff would seem a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, they'd have that little bit of a tech jump.
Yeah. So
you figure they would have had shields a little sooner.
Well, the Strange New Worlds Enterprise has shields, and shields that seem to be better quality than the shields that the original Enterprise had in the original series.
Right.
One moment, please. You're just gonna have to bear with me for a moment. A little bug fell in my coffee. I have to deal with it.
Oh, delicious. A little extra protein. Ben Spratling says, Sep, I think there's been a power surge in your cortical node.
Sorry, what?
Ben Spratling says, 7, I think there's been a power surge in your cortical node.
Oh, nah. Got it.
See, now I'm going to have to go back and watch Enterprise again. It's been so long. It's been a long time.
Getting from there to here.
It is. I'm trying to remember, did the pilot episode or the first episode have the Klingon running through the cornfield or something like that? Okay.
Yeah. Broken bow.
Kind of like, I feel like I'm kind of like Jody. I only watched it originally when it originally aired.
Well, then you should definitely watch it again.
Well, yeah. Have you watched them again recently?
I mean, not recently, but I've
Within the
watched
past few years?
multiple times.
Okay. I almost need to do like Jody and just start rewatching everything all over again. Like I used to have that big box set of the TNG on DVD.
Yeah, I've got some of Enterprise on DVD. I don't know if I've got all of it on DVD. I've got some of Voyager, some of DS9.
Yeah, I ended up selling all my DVDs, or almost all of them. But, I mean, I could watch them streaming.
Yeah.
Ben Spratling says, Brian Braga said the mysterious guy who guiles instructions. Second here.
Yeah, the mysterious figure.
Instructions through time to the Sullivan was Archer himself, so who knows what kind of timelines shenanigans they had planned.
Yeah.
And he says, Corey, instead of sorry, autocorrect messed up a bunch of stuff I wrote there. That's Brannon Braga, not Bran. Yeah. Michael Fontana says, I might have to watch Enterprise again. I like the show. Yeah.
That's my theory. So the fact that the Enterprise looks different under that context, I'm okay with. It would be nice if they dealt with that at some point, though. I mean, I guess they don't have to, but the fan in me wants them to.
I was just watching a clip yesterday, I think, of an episode from Enterprise when the Vulcans had gone back to the 1950s or whatever.
Yep. And we're responsible for the invention of Velcro.
And the one lady keeps breaking her plumbing.
Yep.
To have them come back to continue to keep fixing it. Michael Fontana says, good theory, Andrew.
I still think they could fix it all.
With Harry Kim?
Yeah. I think there's a reason why Harry Kim was the one that the Defiant crew kept coming across time after time after time in that Lower Decks episode. In every reality it jumped to.
Was he an ensign in almost all of them?
Yep. Except for one.
He was admiral, wasn't he?
No, he was a lieutenant.
Oh, okay.
One of the Harry Kims was a lieutenant. The rest were all ensigns.
Ben Spratling says, so are the all the post First Contact movies for you in an alternative timeline? Does that explain why Janeway makes Admiral faster than Picard?
I mean, who knows what consequences there were that we just didn't see on camera.
Well, there's also the whole Locutus Borg thing. So, like they said in that movie, like, is he compromised still?
Well, some of that was answered in Picard. Season 3.
But at that time, though, they didn't know, did they?
Mm-hmm. And clearly, Janeway, Tuvok, and B'Elanna didn't have the same effects of being connected to the collective as Picard did. Not that they were connected for as long as Picard was.
True. Ben Spratling says, wouldn't they be the first to notice when they got back? I hate it when they say that.
Guess it all depends on which interpretation of temporal mechanics they're following.
I was watching something on Star Trek, the future of Star Trek, yesterday, or was that this morning even? I know some people have been talking to the actress who played Janeway. What's her name?
Kate Mulgrew about doing the Janeway show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that same thing I was watching today. Then maybe.
Well, I know that there's been talk, but I don't think it's amounting to much.
Right, but apparently she did. What they said, she did enjoy doing the voice acting for the was it Prodigy? Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Did you ever get to watch that one? Was that the one you didn't get to see?
Yeah, I've got access to it now. I just haven't had a chance to actually sit down and watch it.
Oh, okay.
Ah!
Save it. Did you save it?
I did. It's okay. And now the backing from it just went flying somewhere. I just want to make sure it didn't fly somewhere where it's going to cause a problem. I don't see it, though.
Ben Spratling says, well, they had the neural suppressant.
They did. That's true.
Good to see you found it. That little piece that flew off.
Yeah, it was sitting on the model.
Yeah.
I didn't want it drying out on the model and accidentally sticking to it.
Ben Spratling says Prodigy is surprisingly good. Yeah, I still have yet to watch Lower Decks.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of time to sit down and watch something that I need to actually pay attention to.
Yeah.
I prioritize. I do prioritize like Strange New Worlds when it's on, or like whatever the live action Star Trek is at the time, because I don't want to end up having it spoiled by the inevitable spoilers that show up online almost immediately.
Yes. Yeah, I saw videos on YouTube that were in my feed there all about that episode, and
yeah,
I've
been
avoiding them.
Had I found out that they killed off number one in the first episode of season 4 without having seen it first, I would have been so upset.
What are they doing for their seasons? They doing 10 episodes?
Sounds about right. But season 5 is only going to have something like 6 episodes or 5 or something like that.
Yeah, I heard it got canceled partway through or something.
Well, it only got greenlit for a limited run as the final season. Basically, just enough time for them to end the show.
Let's see here. See the episode. Yeah, season 1 was 10. 2 was 10. Yeah.
Remember the days when things weren't spoiled before you watched it?
Well, not unless everybody at work or school told you.
Like, how, like, the gut punch from watching Stargate Atlantis episode Sunday for the first time without knowing what was going on or what was going to happen.
Ben Spratling says you can tell the differences between hologram Janeway and Admiral Janeway just from the sound of her voice. That takes serious acting.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd says 20 to 30 people watching. Hit that like button, awesome people.
Yeah. We've got 21 on YouTube and 2 on Twitch right now, which is awesome.
Nice.
All watching me just put decals on little decals on a model.
That's your Saturday night.
Mm-hmm. But seeing it done, seeing this process done live, gives you an appreciation for the tediousness of the process.
Oh, I started thinking of the Saturday night get together, which was a program on a local radio station where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And when I worked at the jail as a guard, the building was like, it was all like concrete and then like cinder blocks, and then each cavity of each cinder block had rebar run down it and then concrete poured in it. So it was like almost like a big Faraday cage almost. And you really couldn't get much of a radio signal picked up. But the prisoners loved listening to the radio, except on Saturday night for the Saturday night get together, because it was a country station. But on the Saturday night get together, it was mostly polka music.
Polka music?
Yep. There were a lot of Ukrainians in that area. There's a lot of older Ukrainians, and a lot of Ukrainian polkas and stuff like that.
You could have been brought up on charges of neglect and torture had you inflicted that on the inmate population.
No, I generally would just turn down the music if I was working that shift, and no one seemed to complain. But we also had an older guy who worked there who was heavy Ukrainian, and I know he liked listening to it, and he had bad hearing, so it was loud.
Okay. Great. Exactly what you want.
Yeah, he was close to retirement, and it wasn't a prison or anything. It was just like an RCMP jail, and it was provost section, which basically we always had prisoners in at all times, going to we would be like a hub. So prisoners would come from the prison to our spot, and then our spot would transfer them to all the little towns on each day for court.
Okay.
So, you might have 3 guys going to this town, 10 guys staying in the city and going to the court there, and a bunch of other people going to these other little towns for court. So, yeah.
I see.
So we always had someone. I think the 9-10 years I worked there, it was maybe half a dozen times we had no prisoners.
Yeah. Well, you
still have people working it.
Yeah, we've got the actual prisons here.
Yep.
We've got a number of them here in Kingston. I mean, the Kingston Penitentiary is no longer operational.
No, that's been gone for a while.
Yeah, but we've got Millbrook, Collins Bay, Joyceville, like a number of them here. I think we had, I don't know that we still do, but we had Paul Bernardo in Kingston.
Yeah. Back in the early days of my time in the military, the government had a lot of furniture. There was Cancor. I don't know if you're familiar with Cancor furniture.
Nope.
That was Canada Corrections furniture. Prisoners made furniture that the government used. So, like whatever trusted prisoners they had, they would pay them to, make furniture. I guess that beats sitting in a cell. At least you're doing something.
Yeah.
At least you're getting paid for it.
Yeah. So a lot of people in the area here are either here for school with Queens and St. Lawrence.
Yep.
Or they're here because of the prison system.
Yep.
Either working the prisons or here because family members are in prison and they want to be close to family. And we've also got a lot of military here because of the military base. And so we have a lot of transient people who are here just for a short period of time and then move on.
Yeah, and that's something that happens with prisons a lot too. You get the people who end up getting released and just stick around. You know, they got nowhere else better to go, so they'll just, like, whatever city the prison was in, they just stick to that city now as part of, like, you know, a drain on the system. And because they have no support of family or anything, unfortunately, it increases their likelihood to reoffend.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kingston is pretty much schooling, prisons, and I quite often drive by Sir Johnny MacDonald's burial place.
Okay, yep. Has it been vandalized again lately?
I don't know. Like, I don't actually go in and look at it, but I drive by where it is.
Well, you might see something on the local news or something.
For those of you who are not Canadian, Sir John A. Macdonald is our first Prime Minister. Equivalent to your, like, to the Americans, Washington. George Washington. So that would be the equivalence, I guess.
Yeah.
How are we doing on chat? Any new chats?
No, just Todd telling the 20 to 30 people watching to hit that like button. And it says they're awesome people. If you haven't already commented and told us what you're working on and you're working on something, let us know what it is.
Or even just let us know that you're here. It's nice to know who we're hanging out with.
Who we're entertaining. Oh, and just before the show, I sent you a video short there, Andrew.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in Discord. I don't know if you've ever watched Todd Maffin's videos.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
But I'm also horrible with names.
Yeah. It's just, send it to you and to Jody. He's just people trying to pronounce Nanaimo for Nanaimo bars, and then people trying to make them.
Yeah.
he just, oh yeah, it's funny. I don't know if you or your wife have ever made Nanaimo bars.
No, we have not. Our daughter wouldn't be able to eat them anyway, so.
Right. Allergies to what part of it?
She's got a whole laundry list of allergies, but even the dairy portion of it.
Okay. Yeah. And then there's like coconut and.
Yeah, she can't have coconut. She can't have.
Yeah.
Milk, eggs, tree nuts, coconut, sesame, crustaceans. It's a whole laundry list.
And Ricardo's letting us know he's still here.
Awesome.
You're awesome, Ricardo. Don't ever stop being awesome. Steve's here. He's enjoying hearing everyone chat while I build this Trans Am. I'm glad to hear. How far along are you, Steve? Was it just the fan that just when you told us about it? Was that when it just had happened, or had it happened a little while before you told us? Russ is still here. He's letting us know. Russ, what are you working on tonight? The same as usual?
Oop. Well, I just dropped my entire Q-tip there in the water, so I think I'm gonna get a fresh one.
I've lost a Q-tip in a bottle of isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah. Having a good layer of water exactly where the decal is going to place also helps to limit any air trapping underneath.
Steve says, I'm getting the interior finished, flocking the carpet. Nice. Somewhere I've got a little flocking for doing vehicles carpet. I was thinking if I was ever to do a TOS Enterprise bridge, would flocking work for that? For the carpet. Steve the Fish is here. Hey, Steve.
How's it going?
He says, I just finished working on some breakfast burritos. Steve comes from the world of Japan.
Yes. And is a content creator himself.
Yes, he's got lots of good videos.
31,
a lot of people watching have that too.
39, 41, 43, 45, 47, 49, 51, 53, 55. Just doing a spot check. Make sure I haven't made any mistakes yet.
Right on. Thunderer is here. He said, truth be told, I've been watching your streams to glean tips and tricks for the 1400 Enterprise D. I've been working on and off whenever time permits.
What are you doing for your windows?
There you go. There's a 1400 Enterprise saucer laying on top with all the windows drilled out. And Doug Smith is here. He says, hi, everyone. Thunderer says he's scraping the windows.
Ooh. My condolences. Are you using the water clear or the milky translucent?
Yeah, he just had put up new translucent plastic kit.
Okay. My go-to on that would be to still drill out the windows.
Because as you can see, he's done it right there.
Yeah, well, this is the original version of the kit in the like duck egg blue.
Right.
Drilling out the windows on the water clear is potentially problematic because of how brittle that material is, but the milky white translucent was done in simply just uncolored styrene, so it's still got that little bit of softness to it versus the water clear. So it's much easier to drill the windows out.
Yeah, that crystal clear stuff is just, prone to, I know when you're using that stuff for like canopies on aircraft, it's prone to shattering.
Oh no, I'm not talking about micro crystal clear. I'm talking about the version of the Enterprise D kit that is like water clear plastic.
Yeah, it's that type of plastic that's really kind of brittle.
Oh, okay. I think it's like an ABS. But don't quote me on that. But yeah, my preference is to open the windows. But a lot of people struggle with opening the windows.
Ben Spratling said, I tried drilling out the windows back in the 90s with the battery-powered drill in the fiber optic kit. all the drill bits broke before I successfully drilled out 3 windows, so it was a no-go.
Yeah, I won't touch this stuff with any sort of power tool when it comes to the windows. I will only use a pin vise and a sharp number 11 blade.
Thunder says, I think I would go crazy drilling holes, so I have high respect to all the early modelers. So far, I've had decent success using extremely small flat-headed screwdrivers to do the scraping. Well, that's good to hear that you're having that success.
Yeah, I've got to check the size of the windows on the Enterprise B and just try to determine whether they're big enough to solar res ahead and mask, because that'll determine what I do with the cabin lighting. Because you would think at 350 scale that'd be big enough to solar res and mask, but the windows are relatively small on those Excelsior class vessels. All right, I've got this side done up until the midpoint. So I'm going to do the fill-in ones over here.
Now, has everybody been keeping track that he's got them all in the right order?
That is the trick. Doing it the way I'm doing it this time, I think, is a lot easier just to keep ahead of that. Well, last time I did it, I cut them all ahead and lined up all of the odd ones, lined up all the even ones. And then I tried to do them that way, and I don't know how, but I ended up losing track of the proper placements. So that's why I'm doing it a little bit differently this time. Lessons learned and everything, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Gained some experience there. Now you know how to do it a little bit better.
But when I get to the end of this line here, like this spot here, that's still only 62 out of 450 of these decals.
Well, I guess we know what you're going to be working on for a good chunk of the coming week.
Yep. Now that said, it's the most time-consuming portion of the decal stage. The rest of the decals go on easy and quick.
Ken's Model Shop says, I have 2 kits of the TOS bridge. One is from the old AMT. The newer one is from round 2 with the full bridge with 7 characters in my stash. That's cool. I think I've only got the newer one. I built the older one years ago. It would be nice, though, if someone would do some better figures for that.
I'm sure they're out there somewhere.
I'm sure you could, yeah. But I mean, I'm trying to think. So I know there's some people who do other scales of some of the TOS figures, but not the 1/32 scale that would be the same as that bridge. I know the figures on the Galileo shuttle kit are better than the ones that were on the bridge kit, or at least that's how they look to me. But you don't get all the actual bridge crew. Actually, I just finished watching last night the 2 episodes of the original series where Uhura does not wear a red uniform. She wears the yellow uniform.
Yeah. Early episodes, right?
Yeah. The Corbinite maneuver is because that was the one that was first being filmed, but they couldn't get the special effects done in time. And the other thing was Mud's Women, I think, was the second one.
Wouldn't she have been wearing yellow in Where No Man's Gone before?
No,
That was the first one filmed.
That was the pilot, though, right?
No, not the original pilot. That's the one with where they go to the edge of the universe, like edge of the galaxy, and they have the glowing eyes. And
the Corbinite maneuver was the one that they filmed first, and they wanted to complete, but they couldn't get the special effect for the cube that was the alien ship to work. I was just watching a thing on it, and then I was reading IMDb while I was watching it as well.
Charlie X was the first one that aired. No, it wasn't. No. The Man Trap was the first one that aired.
Yes.
The Salt Vampire.
Yeah. It was Man Trap, and well, obviously the Cage, but then it was like the Man Trap, Charlie X, Where No Man Has Gone Before, The Naked Time, The Enemy Within. Yeah, Mud's Women. It was an early one. I guess it might have been the second one, I guess, that they filmed. That Uhura is still wearing the yellow. And the 10th episode was released was the Corbomite maneuver, and that was actually the first one that they had filmed.
Uhura was probably just afraid of going down to a planet wearing a red uniform.
Afraid? No, she was just smart.
No, she switched to yellow because she was afraid of going down in red.
I know, but I was gonna say she switched to yellow because she was smart. Let's see here. Ken says, "I'm sure there's someone who has already made 3D prints of the crew."
Mm-hmm.
There are. Let me see here. Who is it who makes that? Trying to remember who does it. It's in the UK. Does the light up bases?
Keith at Cosmic Scale Models.
That's it. Yeah, I know he does a lot of the 3D figures, including some of the TOS ones. but they're usually away team. I know the TOS ones, when I was looking just a few days ago, they were the away team version. So they had like, the tricorders on, phasers, that sort of thing, and they weren't 1/32 that would match up with the bridge. But yeah, I'm sure someone's got files that you could download and print them yourself. Steve saying hi. Ken saying salt. Ben Spratling says the lower decks version of the Corbomite maneuver bulk puppet was hysterical. Or Balok, yeah. And Doug says red shirts always die. Except Scotty.
Which begs the question, what would happen if a stormtrooper tried to shoot a Star Trek red shirt?
Oh, he would kill them, because that's my opinion, because he's not a main character. Stormtroopers are actually decent shots unless you have protection because you're a main character. At least that's my theory. Although it's funny to joke how bad of shots they are, because yes. Although it would make really poor movies if they were really good shots.
Yeah, the movies would have been over.
Yep.
And no sequels.
Ken's Model Shop says Vampire Slayer Salt. Steve's theory, Steve Copsey's theory is stormtroopers would miss, but the red shirts would all fall over.
So the stormtroopers would miss, but the red shirts would die anyway.
Yeah, and that's what Ben Spratling says. Stormtroopers would miss, but their red shirts would die anyway, I think is the official correct answer. Yeah, and then Doug Smith says the trooper would miss, but their red shirts would die from a random ricochet. Very true, Steve. Steve the Fish says stormtroopers were herding the heroes to the Falcon on the Death Star so that Vader could track it back to the rebel base on Yavin. True. And Obi-Wan did say that when they went and found the Jawas having been slaughtered, he did say that the shots were so precise, only stormtroopers were that precise. And Ken's Model Shop says red stormtrooper. Well, the Emperor had those red stormtrooper kind of royal guard guys.
There we go. Front section of that ring is done. Now we have to move on to
the rear,
the back section,
the aft. And in about 9 more minutes, we'll be doing another commercial break, I assume.
Mm-hmm. The last one of the night.
Doug Smith says, I have a red stormtrooper, Black Series 6-inch. Nice. Ben Spratling says, rolling on the floor laughing at 4 of us having variations on the same answer at the same time.
So we're back to the boring thing to watch of me cutting escape pod decals and placing them down on the model to line them up.
Steve the Fish says someone on YouTube did a video in which he actually counted the number of shots fired during the corridor gunfight on the blockade runner in the beginning of Star Wars and judged the accuracy. Let's see. Ken's Model Shop, a red stormtrooper versus hand phaser.
Hand phaser.
Doug's laughing at Ben. Or along with Ben, I guess.
I think the first ship, when I had printed out the escape pods, I still wasn't sure exactly how many I was going to need. And they also weren't necessarily in order on the sheet where I'd done them, because there were the way the numbers had to line up. It was easier not to necessarily have them all in numerical order. And so when I did them up, because people wanted them, I thought, oh, I'd better just put the effort in and make sure that they are on the sheets in numerical order. And I've got to say, having them in numerical order on the sheets makes this job a lot easier, because you're not going, where's the next section of them I need to get?
Yeah, you don't want to be playing that game. Number hide and seek.
Uh-huh.
No, let's all make sure he's doing it side to side. And Ken's Model Shop says the Big D looks awesome.
Thank you.
Are you able to do close-up cam at some point tonight?
Oh, you want to see what these look like up close?
Well, not right this second, but at some point tonight, I'm thinking. Unless you want to do it right before you do a commercial break.
Let me see what I can do here.
Ben Spratling says, thanks to whoever posted those Enterprise D close-up pictures, confirmed some things I had suspected. The saucer rim lower windows don't match the 10 forward set. And Ricardo is saying, how many more lifeboats left to decal? 300 and something, really high.
Why is this thing not working?
Ben Spratling says, so if I do that 10 forward Picard's quarters build someday, I'll just have to kind of gloss over the discrepancies.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not going to be able to use the gimbal because I can't get it to work tonight for some reason.
Ooh, okay.
I'll just, I was thinking if I could use the gimbal, then it would would be a little easier, but it doesn't want to work. So I'll just handheld. I'll just hand hold. Like I always do.
Yes. Oh, those look terrific.
That's what they look like.
Coming
Of course,
along spectacular.
They also look better once it's all been hit with the matte coat at the end. That's what we're looking at.
Nice.
So you want to know how many are left to go? 450 minus 62. That's your answer.
There we go. So 382, 88. Doug Smith says, keep calm and build a plane.
450 minus, say 450 minus
62.
Yeah, 388 left to go.
Yep.
All right. We're coming up to the hour here, so we're going to run a commercial break. And might as well run that Starship footage again. So I'm going to refresh the water with some warmer water, and we'll be back in a minute. Let's run that commercial break.
That's awful kind of you, Doug.
There we are. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. All right, I've got some fresh water. And I just have to cut another row of decals off the sheet. And we'll continue to get these placed.
Well, your video is running. Ken's model shop said fascinating. And Doug Smith said he let the ad run so you guys would get credit.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. I don't know what it really does, but can't hurt.
Every time you come around like that, I keep looking at the tip of your scissors like you're going to cut something.
What was that?
Every time you come around like that, I always end up looking at the tip of your scissors like you're going to cut something. Like right there. But you're not cutting anything, you're placing the decals down.
Yeah, I'm not putting the scissors down between decal cuts. That wouldn't be efficient. All right. I'm going to have to check the other one to see which number I put in the middle. Was it the odd or the even? It's probably the odd, I would imagine. I just check.
Ken says, I'm still here watching while sitting here watching TV. You're multitasking. Ben Spratling says, unless YouTube has figured out we're only really watching if we click skip, then they know you're really there. True enough. Oh, right on. Steve the Fish says, I finally finished the 1200 or 1/2500 scale Enterprise E model by AMT. The decals are stiff and fragile, very stubborn. I used fluorescent blue enamel for the windows to make them glow under a black light. Oh, right on. Ben says, I mean, no, definitely those ads were fascinating. In regards to Kenneth being able to multitask, he says, I know. I learned from my favorite YouTuber people.
And
Todd says, I need a stick.
Something's off.
All right, put a non-numbered one in there.
32, 34. 32, 34.
So Todd says, with it, Todd saying, I need a stick. Says, good thing they're building a house next door.
62. So I'm just comparing to. Uh-oh. What's gone wrong here?
Did you make a mistake on the other ship?
I'm just looking. 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. And I start at 32. Two, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62. Four, 5, 4, 2. 4, 5, 5, 2.
Oh.
I think I messed up how many escape pods I put on.
Oh.
Oh, let's have a look. How complicated is this going to be for me if I choose to fix it?
Ken's Model Shop is asking Steve the Fish if his Enterprise E is on YouTube channel. To which Steve the Fish says, "Not yet, but I will have a video uploaded fairly soon. I need to do a photo set for the final build. The decals really did not want to conform. Had to poke holes and use the softener." Did you have an error?
I'm looking. Yeah, I made a mistake.
It's not a happy little accident? Where did things go wrong?
So the issue is that you can see over here I've got 4 and 5. And here I've got 5 and 6.
Okay.
What to do, what to do, what to do. I don't think I can fix it. I think this one's going to have 2 extra escape pods. Shh, don't tell anybody. But that also means...
One's for Barkley, so no one else has to be with him.
Means my numbering's going to be off.
Ooh.
So either I piecemeal some numbers together or I have to completely print 2 additional new ones. Well, I guess I'll have to jump off that bridge when I get to it.
Ken's Model Shop is in reference to Steve's build of the Enterprise E. Says, looking forward to the video. When you post it, you always do awesome work on your builds. And then Steve was talking more about the decals on the Enterprise E. He said, after I'd done a clear coat, found more places where the decals had air bubbles over contours. I made cuts, used Tamiya Mark Fit Super Strong, and pressed down with a swab, then another clear coat. Yeah, there we go. Steve Copsey says the extra one is for Wesley.
What's that?
Steve Copsey says the extra escape pod is for Wesley. I thought one for Barkley. Ken's Model Shop says, I have a Enterprise E I built in the back. Sorry, built it back in 97. It's currently in dry dock. Wow, 97. jeez.
I've got to get two Enterprise E's, two 1400 scale Enterprise E's done once this project's done. Done and out the door. So on this one, there's going to be 452.
There we go. So you're going to have to make up a couple numbers using your number set. Like take the 350 and 50, or sorry, 51 and 52, and then cut off the 3 and put the 4 on.
It's going to be a lot easier just to print a couple extras.
Yeah.
And renumber them that way. I can just take a little bit of the decal paper and double side tape it to a sheet of paper and run it through the printer that way, so I'm not wasting a whole sheet.
Right.
It's what I do when I just need a couple decals. Like in that instance.
Yeah, what was the first movie that had the Enterprise E?
First Contact.
Yeah.
The very first time we saw it was when it was coming through that nebula.
1996. Jeez. It's hard to believe. It's been that long already.
Had to go into the city specifically to watch it on the big screen.
Do you try to make a point of going to see all the Star Trek movies on the big screen?
I didn't see Generations until it was out on VHS.
Okay.
But I'd already read the script. It was the first time one of the scripts had been leaked online. So a friend of mine had found it and printed it out. And when I say printed it out, I mean printed it out on a dot matrix printer. And it took like an hour to print one copy going, His family was not happy with him when he was printing it out.
Yeah, I can imagine not.
Now, that said, it did change a little bit between that leaked version of the script and what was actually on screen.
You still have that script or no?
No, at least I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I definitely think the E is still one of the sharpest looking ships they have.
Yeah, that era and style of ship was nice.
Yeah.
Like one of my all-time favorites is from that movie. Didn't get much screen time, but it's the Akira class.
Right.
Hagen has a copy of the Akira that Rose Drive Yards did. Looks pretty good.
That's cool.
Building that at 650 scale.
Steve the Fish says, I never did see Star Trek Nemesis. By that time, I'd gotten burned out with the movies. He said, I love the E, but none of the movies it was featured in.
Not even First Contact? First Contact typically is typically a fan favorite. Typically regarded as the next generation's Wrath of Khan.
Ken's Model Shop says, I have 2 kits of the Enterprise E from First Contact. The one I built was in '97. Picked up the kits at a Star Trek convention that year.
Yeah, I've got several copies of the kit hanging around here. No particular reason.
Ben Spratling says, Galaxy class for me. I hate it when you take your ship in for repairs at the dry dock and it comes out looking all sovereign class.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of had a problem. They, all they had left was the sauce, so the rest of the ship fell off.
I think it was a line from Lower Decks.
What's that?
Oh, just the quote he said. I hate when you take the ship into
dry dock and it comes looking all sovereign class.
Yeah.
Doug Smith says no such thing as bad Star Trek except Will Wheaton episodes. Steve the Fish says, yeah, not even First Contact. I saw it in the theater and enjoyed it, but eventually came to dislike it. They ruined Picard's character. It completely contradicted his established character in TNG.
Well, like I said earlier, I think First Contact is responsible for changes in the timeline that have trickled down through as changes in visual canon for an updated filmmaking technology. But I think First Contact is the in-world explanation for it all.
Let's see here. Ben Spratling says, I never understood what people didn't like about Wesley. And Michael Fontana is taking off for the night. He says, well, have a good night, Andrew and Ken and chat. You take care, Michael. Have a good one.
All right. See you next time.
Ben Spratling says, yes, I was quoting Captain Carroll from Lower Decks.
Yeah.
And then Doug Smith says, I'm joking. Wesley is okay. And then
technically that would be Captain Freeman.
Ben Spratling saying, I speak predominantly in Star Trek quotes. Oh, there we go. Michael Fontana was still around to hear us wishing him a good night. He said, sounds good.
Oh, good.
Ben Spratling says, ooh, do you think First Contact could have created Section 31 and that's why no one knows it exists?
Did Section 31 appear in DS9 before or after First Contact? I think it appeared after.
Oh, there you go. Steve the Fish says, I'd take Wesley Crusher over Jar Jar Binks any day. I agree. He says, I didn't mind him because he was the same, because I was the same age. But thinking back, he was annoying. Yeah, that's just how he was written.
Yeah, I think they used him as the get out of jail card free a lot when there were problems. Wesley fixed it. I think they got better at using him as the show went
on. Ben's asking, but her first name is Carol, right?
Yep.
And Jody's back. He says, "What's wrong with Will Wheaton?" He says he makes a fine wheat whiskey. Good to see you're back, Jody.
Jody's probably going to start getting stuff ready for his live stream immediately following this one. We've got 35 minutes until we switch over to Jody over at Trek Mods.
Yeah, so stick around.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you definitely don't think that we're going to get the top saucer done tonight.
No.
So it takes a little bit longer than you expected it to.
Yes, it did. See, Jody says you can see my back. Ben says this has got to be a Family Guy reference, right?
What does?
The Will Wheaton.
Oh.
Maybe Stewie from Family Guy. Yes, if you haven't watched Jody at Trek Mods, he does some good Family Guy impressions. Always good for a laugh. Although I know he doesn't like doing them too often because it just starts to, I'm sure it gets just repetitive.
I'm toying around with the idea for the next project of maybe seeing if I can mechanically close the saucer so that if ever anything happens and needs to be serviceable, that you can open it up.
Oh, that'd be cool. Steve the Fish says, Will Wheaton opened a door for me at Phoenix Comic Con in 2011.
Cool.
Ben Spratling says, ooh, I can finally, I can do family impressions too? And he says, I prefer Futurama, but I can't do anything of them. Yeah, Jody's really got a really good, was it Herbert? The old man Herbert from Family Guy. He's got a good version of that.
I'd mentioned probably a couple weeks ago that I wasn't sure if Aaron was going to be able to come to Winterfest again this year because he has to do an internship, but because it's essentially backed up by a weekend because of the way that they determine the date, being the first weekend after whatever that holiday is they have.
Right.
What is it? Memorial Day? Is that right?
I would have to look.
I think that's the right one. Anyway, he thinks that because it's a few more days into June that he should be done his internship before that and shouldn't have a problem coming to Wonderfest again.
So when is Wonderfest? End of May?
No, first weekend in June this year.
First weekend in June, yeah. So no, yeah, it's the week before that. That's Victoria Day.
Yeah, that's Victoria Day here, but like we have Victoria Day, but I think in the States it might be Memorial Day or maybe.
Okay, Memorial Day weekend.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the right. So whatever that end of May holiday is in the States, they run Wonderfest the weekend after that. So it's been moving more towards the end of May, and now it's got bumped back to like I think June 6th or something like that.
Jody says, I also like Futurama very much. Haven't seen Family Guy in many years. And Ben Spratling says, autocorrect making things less understandable than if we were just misspelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, auto corsage can be an issue sometimes. I think I'll be doing something just to get this this ring I'm working on complete by the end of the stream.
Ben Spratling says, yes, Memorial Day is the last Monday in May.
Okay. So the way they determine when Wonderfest is it's the weekend after that. So, but because it's a little bit later than it has been, then Aaron thinks that he should be able to come and be my production assistant again. Which is very helpful, especially if I'm going to be at the if I'm going to have to be at the booth,
the Inner Lights booth
all the time.
So he'll just like ship over to you all the display stuff.
Yeah, that's the idea. Well, and he kind of like foreshadowed that a little bit at Wonderfest this year because he had the thought to put my name on as a co-vendor.
Okay, yeah.
In case something crazy happened and he couldn't make it. But at that point, he wasn't thinking of that there was going to be a conflict.
Oh, wow. Your little circle screen is way off, I think. Oh, no, it wasn't. For some reason, I thought you were still standing.
Nope.
It was showing you in a chair, and I'm like, oh, that's not right. He's standing.
And
then as soon as wheeled us, like, oh, yeah, never mind. You're in the chair. That's what I get for looking down and reading comments. I'm not watching what you're doing. I'm not keeping a close eye on you.
I mean, if you're not looking at comments, nobody is.
True enough. Well, the audience is, but they're not getting to you otherwise.
$30 minutes left.
30 minutes.
Can I finish this ring? I don't know. It's not exactly.
Well, you could probably finish it tonight, but whether or not you can finish it on stream.
Yeah. It's certainly not. Oh, you're over there. It's certainly not a expeditious endeavor. I ended up having to get open up my new green shoes because my other green shoes got pretty much destroyed over time. Just wear and tear over time. Happened to have a spare set in the box in the cupboard, so closet. That's it, not cupboard.
Is green your favorite color?
Green actually is my favorite color. But I enjoy all kinds of colors of Adidas shoes. I have red ones I wore to Wonderfest. I've got light blue ones. I've got blue patchwork ones, which are really cool. Of course, I've got white ones and white ones with black stripes, white ones with green stripes.
So you're saying you're a shoe guy?
No, I just like Adidas shoes. And what'll happen is I pretty much only buy Adidas shoes if they're on sale. And so there'll be like a rash of sales all at the same time, and so I get like the next supply of shoes when they're on sale.
Oh, it's the best time to buy anything when it's on sale.
Yeah, and then the boxes sit in my closet until I need a pair. Until the previous pair have worn out fully, and I need a new pair. These green ones, though, I only wear at home, so they're essentially like indoor shoes.
Right.
Okay, so first round of the aft section on those rooms are done. Now I have to do the in-betweens. And doing it every other just gives a chance for, because they're so close together, gives a chance for the first ones to dry and set before I start laying down the ones right beside them, so they don't end up nudging each other around.
Yeah, that can definitely be annoying when that happens.
We've still got 18 watching after 3 hours and 34 minutes, which is pretty cool. And 2 of them are on Twitch.
Oh,
Hey,
right
if you're
on.
watching on Twitch, let us know.
Yeah, some Twitch viewers still watching. That's cool.
Just grabbing a swig of coffee while that loosens up in the water.
Yeah, I did the Studio Series TIE Fighter from AMT that came out a few years ago. And the decals on that came off the backing super quick. Like you only had to put it in the water for a couple seconds. That's it. And it was just ready to float off. I've never had decals that came off that easily.
That's almost too easily.
Actually, it was really nice. Then again, I wasn't doing near as many decals as you're doing here. But I definitely left the first decal in the water too long because I was used to letting it sit in the water for about 12 seconds. Yeah, like 5 seconds is way too long for them. Even like it was just like seriously just a couple seconds. Well, Todd said, found a stick, glued it to my 18 gauge aluminum sheet, and gave it a coat of metal etching primer. All right.
He found a stick?
Yeah, he was looking for a stick earlier.
Okay.
And he says, that's what I'm working on.
I guess context would be important for understanding that.
I think it would be. Unfortunately, I have none. You?
Nope.
All right, then. Well, that's 2 of us. He said something to hold the metal so I didn't paint or get my hands on the metal.
Well, my kids would have thought it was funny that I put down escape pod number 67.
Oh, yeah. Todd says, I am preparing to paint the 4 Airwolf color possibilities on it. I see.
Nice thing about this decal paper I've been using is it doesn't seem to, if I accidentally leave it in a little bit too long, it doesn't seem to affect it too much.
Well, that's good.
Because sometimes it can, decals can be like avocados. It's like, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Oh, it's rotten. So by the end of the stream, I should have at least 81 escape pod decals placed down, and doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that's actually pretty decent.
Yeah. So, Todd, what are the color options you're looking at for your Airwolf?
I remember him talking about that there's some grays and greens, and I think there's like 4 different colors that people use or something like that.
Like I've heard somebody say what the black and what kind of looks like white, but I guess it's light gray on the bottom. I'm not sure what colors they actually use.
Well, it sounds like there's some discrepancy as far as what the main color is.
Right.
Not like we have that issue when it comes to Star Trek models.
Oh, never.
Everybody's in complete, totally agreement on the coloring of everything at all times, right?
Yeah.
Even the studio models are always in agreement with each other. Said no one who's made a Star Trek model ever.
Pretty much any model. I mean, anytime you try to build something, people always, oh, that's the wrong color blue for that, or that's the wrong color for a TIE fighter.
You got too many rivets on that panel.
Yeah.
Too many escape pods in that section.
Oh, Todd says, now I'm eating crunch berries while it dries. So what are those? What are the 4 possible colors? 4 possible colors, Todd? Would like an anthracite gray be one of them, or no? I have no idea. That might be a little too dull of a color.
We're getting there. We're getting there. 3 left.
Nice. So Todd says Phantom Gray Metallic, DuPont/GM, Mazda K8 Tornado Silver, and 2 Toyota Metallics, 6E8 and 6U9. All right then. So it's not like it's a Tamiya color or something. Good to know. Yeah, he says all automotive paints. Yeah, I see that.
One of them was looking like it would work out really well for like the housing for a TNG tricorder. It's that gray color. It's got that fleck in it.
Yep. Well, I know you've had this conversation with, I think, Jordan and probably Todd, and I think on streams in the past, I remember you get talking about how rugged the or how rough the actual props looked back in the day before high def.
Yep.
So it just had to pass a marginal, inspection, so to speak.
Well, and so many of the props were like stunt prop quality as well. So
Yeah.
a lot of phasers that people were wearing and stuff like that were just like foam painted and stuff, like super low quality, and only the ones that had to be up close and personal had any actual
The hero props.
detail or functionality or anything like that.
Yeah.
And the hero props were few and far between. Like phasers had stickers on them instead of buttons, and let's just say that the quality of prop reproductions made today are far superior to the actual props they were making back then.
Todd said, I realized that they got that bumpy texture on all the panels and consoles with a paint roller. He said, smooth / shiny surfaces are rough on shooting sets.
Then there's all the mistakes that people make in making reproduction props that then get propagated through the prop building community because they've seen other people do it the wrong way, and so they figure that that's the right way.
Ben Spratling says, I mean, if you made the hero props for Star Trek, would you want goofs like the cast hiding them in those concrete cave sets? Sorry, you were saying something there?
I was saying that then there's the in the prop pre-production, there's mistakes people have made that then get propagated through other people because they see what other people have made and do them the same way.
Yeah.
And like one of the things that is done wrong so often are communicator badges being made shiny metallic, and they never were.
Todd says everyone sees the black gaffer panels they put on the Enterprise D set LCARS panel in season 1, especially to prevent light reflections. And Jeff is here, Captain Charlemagne. He says, hi, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah.
You're catching us close to the end of our stream tonight. But
he just came to see how all the great work turned out.
Yeah, but fear not.
I'm guessing.
Doesn't mean that the night's over, because Jody at Trek Mods is going to be starting his stream as soon as we're done ours. There will be a slight gap between the streams because the streaming software will not let Jody start his stream until this one is officially done. So there will be at least a momentary gap in between, but YouTube should send you all the way over there once I hit end stream. All right, so that ring is complete, and I'm just going to verify We got 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 52, 4, 6, 8, 62, 4, 6, 8, 72, 4, 6, 8, 80. And then on this side, we've got, I mean, besides the fact that they're extra, 31, 3, 5, 7, 9, 41, 3, 5, 7, 9, 51, 3, 5, 7, 9, 61, 3, 5, 7, 9, 71, 3, 5, 7, 9, 81. Ugh!
Oh, careful.
I almost tripped over a milk crate. You know that box that they put the bags of milk in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Todd says, yeah, no shinies. Yeah. Which makes Todd makes Doug laugh. Ben said they got better at hiding things in later seasons.
Yeah.
Jeff says, sorry for missing it. I just got back from a bowling trip with some friends from high school I have not seen in 10 years.
That sounds
Well,
like
that's
fun.
cool. That's always good to do.
Or at least I hope it was fun.
Yeah, I hope so. Todd says, yep, better lamp positioning made it so they could stop doing that in later on.
Well, and the quality of their lighting got better too.
As it does. So after the stream, are you going to be sitting around here just watching a bit of Jody's stream while putting more decals on?
I'm going to need to get a little bit of food. I'm really hungry.
Hey, Heavy's here. 853 Heavy. He says, tell me you're Canadian without telling me you're Canadian. Bags of milk.
Mm-hmm. It's just
Well, I'm
normal
from
to
part
me.
of Canada and we don't really get bags of milk where I am in Canada.
Yeah, it's either here. It's either like so small quantities of milk. You get them in like the cartons, and then the larger quantity you get in. So it's a one bag that has 3 smaller bags inside, and the bags fit perfectly into a milk pitcher. So you just put the whole bag into this special pitcher, and you cut the corner off the bag, and you pour it out that way.
Steve Martin is here. He says, evening, gents.
Good evening.
Jody's offering a free vasectomy to someone. I don't know who. Maybe he doesn't care who. Ben Spratling says, I was looking at relics, and there's a snapshot when Scotty walks out of the transporter room door, and one of the lower light panels in the corridor has a giant black card covering it completely.
Oh, yeah? Interesting.
Howard's here. He says, bag Canada, bag Canada, bag Canada. Heavy says, seriously, though, how do you pour the milk? Do you have a carafe?
So
and
there's
he says,
plastic pitcher.
Yeah, he says, copy pitcher.
Yeah, not a coffee pitcher. It's a special. It's designed specifically for the bag of milk.
He didn't say coffee. He said copy pitcher.
Oh, got it.
Sorry. Jody says, animals on the money.
What was that?
Jody says, animals on the money. Howard says, we used to have that here. I guess bagged milk. Todd says, I love catching overhead boom mics making it to the scene, or glimpses of open ceiling showing the lighting rigs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or there's a shot. I can't remember which episode it is, but somebody's coming into the ready room, and they've got the doors to the turbo lift across the bridge that's supposed to go directly to the battle bridge, but there's nothing behind it. And it's just open to the stage.
I just noticed something the other day. I was watching that episode of Mud's Women from first season of TOS. DeForest Kelly actually wears a pinky ring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see it at the right at the end of the episode when he crosses his arms when he's or hands or whatever when he's standing beside Captain Kirk.
Hmm.
He's got a pinky ring on. They say apparently the trivia in IMDb said he wore it for quite a bit of the series.
I remember when back in the day watching Star Trek: The Next Generation back on VHS after recording it off the TV. There was an episode, I don't know which episode it was, with Loxana Troy, but Deanna and Loxana are in Loxana's quarters, and there's a mirror in there, and you see the boom of the mic boom in the mirror. I remember catching that and going, "Oh, it's in the corner of the mirror there." And then in Unification, I can't remember if it's part 1 or 2, but it must be part 2 because they've been captured by Sela, and they're in that office, and there's a triangular thing on the table that's a green reflective triangular, looks like an award or something like that. And notice one day that there's a reflection of a guy's face in that. But I went back to look at that in the remastered, and they've edited that out.
Okay.
The remasters.
Howard says, "Who watches episodes that close? Damn rivet counters."
Oh.
Do you think you'll get the rest of the top of the saucer done tonight when you're done after the stream?
No, not a chance. Because I have to be out early tomorrow. Take me a couple hours to finish the rest of the top saucer here.
So tomorrow on the stream probably then? If you're there?
Yeah, I don't know how much of it I'll make because my family will be returning home.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll make that stream or not. If I do, it'll probably be after bedtime. AKA after the kids' bedtime.
Yes. And Sprouting says, well, you are talking to a bunch of guys making miniatures of starships popular on TV 30 years ago, in response to Howard, who watches episodes that close.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. I will finish up these few that I've cut and placed down tonight, just so that they don't blow away and get lost, but that's it.
It was like kind of the end of that strip.
Yep. But I will also grab a bite to eat first, because I am super hungry.
I thought you would have had something to eat before the stream started.
I had a bit of an earlier dinner.
Okay, so you weren't really hungry then at the start of the stream.
Yeah, it's almost 4 hours ago now. All right.
Well, we got a couple minutes left here.
So there's where we're at. A few 4 more decals placed on the very outer ring at the front with what 5 more to place down tonight before I finish off for the night, just so that they don't blow away. But it is almost 11 o'clock, and it's almost time to send you over to Jody's live stream over at Trek Mods. So let me do this and this so that I can talk to you. So thank you, everyone, for spending 4 hours here watching me put down little pieces of transfer film with ink on them down onto the model. Well, it's toner, it's a laser print. Just a side note, if you're printing decals on laser, you don't need to put a top coat on. If you're printing them with inkjet, you definitely need to spray them with a top coat. Otherwise, they will just, the ink will disappear on you when you place it in the water. And all you'll have is a clear piece of transfer film. So just keep that in mind if you're printing your own decals. Inkjet needs top coat. Laser does not. So thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. Hope that you've enjoyed the live stream. If you did, make sure that you hit that like button. If you're new to my channel or you haven't done so yet, you can hit the subscribe button. You'll make me very happy if you do. But for now, my name is Andrew. Our producer tonight has been Ken. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Go over to Jody's channel. Go to Trek Mods. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Go to Trek Mods. Good night.